Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question 98/2015 under my name is directed to the Honourable Prime Minister, the Minister of Itauki Affairs and Sugar Industry. A key role for the Fiji Mahogany Trust, administered by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister's office as a chair of, also as a chair of the Mahogany Industry Council since 2010, is to distribute the proceeds from the sale of mahogany timber to the native landowners. Would the Prime Minister confirm if landowners have been paid log proceeds and indicate the years and corresponding amounts paid?
Thank you.
If I need, Madam Speaker, to clarify, mahogany timber is mahogany logs, and Prime Minister, his Prime Minister's office administers the Fiji Mahogany Trust. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister for Itauki Affairs and Sugar Industry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the Honourable Member for the question. It is interesting to note, Madam Speaker, that the Honourable Member has been a trustee of the Fiji Mahogany Trust, which of course he has not disclosed. Madam Speaker, with regards to the question raised by the Honourable Member, it must be noted that there is a Mahogany Industry Development Decree that was implemented in 2010, and this was for the restructuring of the Fiji mahogany industry in facilitating further development, in having regard to the interests of Itauki landowners and of course all Fijians. Suffice to say, Madam Speaker, the statutory provision of the mahogany sale proceeds being paid to landowners now is an additional benefit that has not existed previously. Due to FHL's debt burden from the past, priority has been placed on the repayment of debts that have been guaranteed by the state and reforestation, which will ensure sustainability of the Fijian mahogany industry. Madam Speaker, let me give up my figures. Despite the financial strain, and to answer the Honourable Member's questions, from 2000 and 2014, FHCL has paid a total payment of $13.12 million to the landowners. From the $13.12 million that has been paid to the landowners, $3.4 million is paid the payment of land leases, which is paid directly to TLTB for the landowners. $4.5 million is for the payment of stumpage, which is paid directly to TLTB for the landowners. $665,799 is for the payment of land management fees, which is paid directly to the landowners. $870,000 is for reforestation and plantation maintenance payments to landowners who are contracted to FHCL. And $3.65 million is for the payment of contractor payments, which includes harvesting, extraction, scaling, and of course cartage, and which is paid directly to the landowners who are engaged by FHCL. In the case of Fiji Mahogany Trust, Madam Speaker, the Fiji Mahogany Trust needs to have in place accountability and governance procedures, and that will make things happen for our mahogany industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Supplementary question, the Honourable Alvin Maharaj.
Madam, I would like to thank Prime Minister for his answer and also thank him for taking the governance of FHCL into his hand, because we definitely know anything that goes under his governance is always done in a proper and best way. While say you were actually telling the amount that is paid to the landowners, I would like to ask my supplementary question, why there has been so much debt with FHCL, and now that bulk of money that was supposed to go rightfully to the landowners is being used to do repayments for those debts? Thank you.
Thank you. Point of order.
The question raised is not relevant to the original question. It is about log proceeds. It's about log proceeds, Madam Speaker, and not about FHCL.
Thank you. Thank you. The onus will be on the Honourable Prime Minister to answer or not to answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, FHCL has been making losses since its incorporation in 1998. And accumulated.
There was no harvesting
FHCL has been making losses since its incorporation in 1998 and accumulated a total debt of $21.4 million. $21.4 million by the end of 2010. It was not even in a position to service these loans, and the majority of the accumulated loans were a result of the 2004 purchase. If you remember, Madam Speaker, someone from across the room was talking about the Waivunu sawmill. The majority of the accumulated loss were the result of the 2004 purchase of the Waivunu sawmill, $2.6 million, and Navutu timber yard of $3.5 million. We found out that the Waivunu sawmill in particular had been bought at an inflated price with equipment and machinery that were obsolete. And also FHCL, Madam Speaker, does not have the capacity and the technical know-how to take on the value-adding side of operations for Waivunu and Navutu, which led to both operations constantly making losses until its closure in 2010. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, FHCL had also had flawed inventory and accounting procedures and controls which allowed for the abuse of the system. Additionally, the focus of the company was wrong, as it did not concentrate on making profit, but generating revenue only. In the forest, there was no proper planning, and stock surplus logs and management was only reliant on good weather. It is also important to note, Madam Speaker, that from 1998 to 2003, government had invested $15.9 million of operating grant into FHCL without proper controls on the utilization of the funds. These resulted in such investments by the then government being wasted. The issues mentioned above that I've just mentioned, Madam Speaker, had triggered the need for the Fijian government to take necessary action to reform this important industry for the landowners and for the people of Fiji.
Thank you. Supplementary question. I will give the floor to the opposition and then to the government.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his explanation on the issue. My question is, the Mahogany Industry Development Decree guarantees landowners' participation in the industry. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform this August House what area of the industry they participated in and what is the monetary value? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Prime Minister.
If the Honourable Member had been listening to what I've been saying for the last 5 minutes, he would have heard the distribution of funds that I've mentioned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the last supplementary question, I give the floor to the Honourable Semi Korela-Vasau.
Speaker, my supplementary question is, what is now the role of FHCL after the introduction of the decree?
Thank you. Honourable Prime Minister.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order.
The question is supplementary question has gone out of the original question, which was the log proceeds. That is a new question altogether, Madam Speaker.
I'll give the Honourable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, we're talking about log proceeds and the payment to the landowners, which is very important. And I think the question by honourable member is very relevant to what we're talking about. And that is, I want to answer the honourable member's question in saying that FHL had been making losses since its operation in 1998. But now things have changed and we've come up with a better figure for that. But before, FHL used to do both. But now we've removed FHL and is now just looking after the landowners.
Thank you.